Archer and Pine, circulating the black dollar since 1921. Go to archerpine.com now.
Welcome to the Archer and Pine podcast. I'm Marc Clarke, and today my special guest is from the Honey Pot Company, the CEO, the creator, Bea Feliu-Espada. How are you, Beatrice?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
I tell you what, we're so excited to have your products on Archer and Pine. Tell us, the Honey Pot Company. I love the name. And, I think the name, once you tell us about the product, it makes perfect sense. So tell us about your product.
So at Honey Pot, we have multiple products, but we specialize in making products specific to vaginal and feminine hygiene. So we have a line of feminine washes, we have a line of wipes, and then we also have a line of pads, all under the same brand family.
I love it. And how did you come up with the name?
Oh, that's actually a funny story. It's probably not the way that you would think. We came up with the name. I literally was like driving down the street, and I was trying to figure out the name for the company, and I looked over at a light pole, and there was a poster for a band, and it was called the Honey Pot Band. And so I said, wow, that's my name, the Honey Pot. That's how I figured it out.
There you go. Divine intervention. That's perfect.
Right.
That's perfect. And I love this. I love the products because, I'm a father of 3 daughters. And so I have a house full of women, and they are teenage and pre-teenage pre-teenage and teenage year ages. And so I know a lot about the topic. And the interesting thing, as the, starting with my first child, oh my goodness, my wife gets so tired of me being Mr. Super, trying to give them the very best, from breastfeeding to reading all the ingredients and to this issue that you take care of. I mean, the feminine products, the chemicals that are in them, and the cotton that is used for pads is a problem, but people don't really talk about it. And here you are ahead of the curve with these products. So tell us about your products and tell us what makes your products so special.
Well, the washes, what makes them so special is really the ingredient deck. We use really key ingredients. Each ingredient is speaking to vaginal health. And so, we use coconut oil, which is antimicrobial, also antibacterial. We use, apple cider vinegar, which is known for its what it can do for the vagina because it's really acidic. We use ingredients like garlic. Garlic is really powerful because it helps to prevent yeast. We use grapefruit seed extract because it's really great against bacteria. And so each ingredient in the wash, really in the whole line, really, it's not there, even all the way down to our essential oils. They're not there to make the product smell good. They're there for their medicinal purpose. And so the whole line is pretty much herbal. We have antioxidants and, probiotics and, anti-itching types of herbs in our wipes. And, in our pads, we have lavender, we have rose, we have, mint. We have an herb in there called hatuya, which is really good because it protects the cotton against the bacteria that can potentially grow in it, while it's sitting under your sink. As a woman, most women put their pads under the sink, not knowing that that's probably the worst place to put them. And so, so every part of the line is herbal. Every part of the line, is really special and really powerful. And so, that's really the premise that we go from. I try to make sure that we source the ingredients from the cleanest places. We're a cruelty-free line. We're actually certified cruelty-free. Some of the ingredients are even organic. So it's just a really beautiful, clean line and clean experience when the women are using it.
And you have actually the first plant-based feminine care system on the market, which makes you ahead of the curve. And you're starting to really see this become a big player. How did you know? I mean, you kind of like saw around the corner on this. How did you know? Or was it just satisfying a need?
I mean, it was definitely satisfying a need, but also in addition to satisfying a need, I've worked in retail and CPG for the past like 6 or 7 years of my career. Because not only have I ran Honey Pot, but I've also had to work for a living, right? I mean, now I'm doing Honey Pot full time, but that just happened like last June. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And so it's kind of being in the industry, kind of seeing the white spaces that are out there. It honestly, I didn't create the wash with the intention of starting a company. I created it because I needed it. It just kind of worked out. You know what I mean?
I love it.
Yeah. So, but it's worked out to be what it is. And the beautiful thing is it's a lot of organic growth with the company. It hasn't necessarily been a thing of where we were just like a pool of people that came from like certain types of careers. And, we knew the people that we needed to know to get to where we needed to get to. It's really been a lot of like organic growth and, getting to the next level, and the consumers really demanding what they want. And, that's really been the growth of the company so far.
And have you always been an entrepreneur? I think a big part of course, the Archer Pine story is we like to share the stories of our creators, and artisans. Has this always been a part of you being an entrepreneur? Is this new for you?
No, I've definitely always had an entrepreneurial spirit. When I left, I used to be in pharmacy for about 8 years. So when I left from pharmacy, I didn't want to be around sick people anymore, and I wanted to find a different way to give back to the world. And so I went to work for Whole Foods, but at that time, Whole Foods didn't pay a ton of money. So I guess I've always had an entrepreneurial bone in my body. But really to be honest, I'm a hustler. I gotta get by. I gotta live. And so I've always just done what I've needed to do. But Honey Pot, along with my team, my brother, my CMO, like Honey Pot has grown me into being an entrepreneur. Like, you can't run a business like this unless you have to understand business. You have to understand, you have to have the grit that you need in order to make it to the next month. You really have to put your mind, your whole body, soul, everything into it. So it's made me into a true entrepreneur, and I learn something new every day.
I love it. She started off a hustler and now she's an entrepreneur. Well, Beatrice, yeah. We're so excited about having you on Archer and Pine. And again, I love your products. I'm going to get my Christmas order in because, like you said, man, the vagina is a pretty big deal. And
it is a pretty big deal.
All aspects from my wife.
We all came from one, right?
I have all aspects from my wife dealing with, what happens after menopause. And then I have my 13-year-old, and then I have my 15 and 16 and 17-year-old who go through their thing as they get to know their vagina. So this is perfect for them, and I'm so excited to have healthy alternatives, healthy options, because not to scare anybody, Beatrice, but let people know like how much chemicals are involved with these products, that the top selling products we see in the stores.
Yeah, I mean, they're making product for a mass amount of people, right? And, typically what happens when you do that, you have to make it accessible for the average person who may or may not have, a high income. And so typically when they make these products, they don't make them to be clean and healthy necessarily for the consumer. They make them to be cost effective for the consumer. And so that comes at a cost because, now the product is made with crappy ingredients, and, those crappy ingredients can cause other things to happen, like sensitivity, odor, irritation, infection, sometimes cancers, fibroids, endocrine disruption, and all kinds of things like that. So, those are some of the things that can happen, and some of the ingredients, like in our pads and our tampons, they're putting furans, dioxins, Not only are they being sprayed with pesticides, but they're being cleaned with chlorine bleach, and you know, so it is scary, and there definitely absolutely is a learning curve that has to happen from the consumer, because it's their responsibility to know what they're putting on their body. And so yeah.
Thank you so much, Beatrice. It's the Honey Pot Company. You can check it out on Archer and Pine. If they want to reach you, Beatrice, what's the best way to get you?
You can reach me at I am Bea Espada on Instagram. You can always go to our website, support@thehoneypot.co. That's our email address. Our website is thehoneypot.co. If they want to find us in stores, they can go to Target. If they're in the Southeast, they can go to Whole Foods.
I love it. Thank you so much.
In multiple ways.
Beatrice Espada, thanks so much. Much success, and thank you for joining us on Archer and Pine.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
The Archer and Pine Podcast, featuring stories about Black artisans, designers, and creators.